Welcome back to your daily dose of keeping it real about being out here in the Philippines. I'm known for throwing rocks, so if I do say something to make you mad in any kind of way, I want you to know that I wasn't trying to do that, but it is what it is. You can holler at me in the comment section, and we can talk about this like men. Now today, I'm just riding around, man. I really don't have a destination of where I'm going. I guess I'm just burning gas or whatnot. I'll find a better place to go later on in the week or as the week progresses or whatnot. But as I'm riding around, man, I do want to talk to you guys about something. And that is the startup cost of living out here in the Philippines. Now, there's a lot of videos out there about how much the actual cost of living is in the Philippines. But, I really haven't found too many videos on the actual startup cost of being out here. So that's something that I do want to cover in this video right now. Moving out here to the Philippines can be exciting to a lot of people, but you need to keep in mind that the startup cost really tremendously outweighs the monthly cost by a long shot. You can find affordable rent out here, but you still got to pay for things like gas tanks, the gas tanks itself, and furniture and so on or whatever. So the startup cost of transitioning into a comfortable life requires some planning. And today I kind of want to help you guys with that, man. Now don't get me wrong, some guys, man, they come out here and they just want to I'm gonna go for what I know. I'm gonna take my little pension that I got and I'm just gonna move into a place that already is fully furnished. And I don't want to deal with the hassle of owning all this stuff. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, man. If you really want to live like that, man, hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Save yourself a headache, potentially save yourself some money, and enjoy your time in the Philippines for as long as you decide to stay. I'm talking about for the guys that really want to establish themselves. They want to start a family, and you kind of want to be here permanently, and you want to own some things for yourself. So the startup cost being out here can be expensive, and I want to go over that with you today. And today I'm going to start my list off with the rent. All right, now you can find affordable places out here in the Philippines depending on your level of comfort and your actual monthly budget. I'll leave links in the rental for rental properties and stuff like that in the description, so you guys can kind of get a general idea of what you might be interested in, what you're looking for, should you decide to move out here in the Philippines or whatnot. But today I'm going to go for an example. So let's say that your monthly budget is 2,000 pesos a month, right? That's how much you're going to budget. Me personally, I think you should have double that moving out here because it can cost you a pretty penny, and I'm getting ready to go over those with you today. Today's exchange rate is 58 pesos per $1. So if you're making $2,000 a month, you're looking at 117,000 pesos per month. All right, and again, I think you should double that coming over here in the beginning phases of your being over here, so that you can have a cushion for yourself of the movement costs. All right, so let's say your rent is 15,000 pesos a month. That's about $256. You can get a 2-bedroom apartment. Sometimes you might even find a 3-bedroom apartment depending on where you are. But that's about $256. Now you also have to think about the deposit, the advance rent. Some places charge deposit and advance rent, so you can double that up. So that's $30K, which is $512 plus your $15K to $256, and that'll bring your grand total up to $766 just to move in. All right, so keep that in mind, man. Now, don't get me wrong. Some places they don't have that, but from my experience, that's always what's happened to me when I moved into a place out here. So keep that in mind for yourself. And this is just an example, man. Some people, they really don't charge you for the advance rent. They only charge you for the deposit, so it can only be double sometimes too. So keep that in mind, man. All right. So let's go on to the next thing, man. That is gas, and what I mean by gas, that's your cooking gas. All right. Now out here in the Philippines, you got to buy a gas tank, and then you got to get that gas tank refilled. So the gas tank out here is going to run you roughly about 2,200 to 2,700 in pesos. It's about $48-50 out here in today's exchange rate. Then you got to fill it up. And for you to fill it up, it's going to cost you almost 1,000 pesos. So we're going to go ahead and say $17 to fill up your gas tank so you can cook. This is cooking gas and stuff like that out here in the Philippines, all right? So that brings your grand total to $65. All right, $65. And yeah, you should be able to have gas to cook and stuff like that, all right? The next one is your internet connection. Now, you have many options for internet, here in the Philippines. And just to name a few, you got Globe, PLDT, and you got Smart. They even have prepaid Wi-Fi, but I really don't recommend that because it's kind of slow in a lot of areas. Me personally, I use Globe. And my bill is about $2,400. What dollar, man? I wouldn't pay that. 2,400 pesos a month. So that, you know, equates to about $41. Now, some of these other places, I don't know if they charge you an installation fee to put your stuff in there. I'm really not sure, but Globe, I know they didn't charge me anything, so that's something that you guys might want to think about when you're coming out here. You know, PLDT is pretty good too, but you know, weigh your options, you know, and figure out what fits you better. But again, that's $41 to get started out here in the Philippines, and that's pretty much the monthly bill too. While you're at it, the next thing I want to cover is your water bill, and that's just your running faucet water. If you don't run your water that much, you can pay about 300 pesos, man, about $5. Sometimes you can get it 200 pesos. It just depends on how much your usage is. And it's really not that bad, man. That's pretty cheap compared to the States and stuff like that. Now, as far as your drinking water, you can pay 25 pesos for a refill, and then you're going to pay 200 pesos for the container. And you only pay that container once. You can get the container refilled all the time. But to get started, that's going to run you about $3.84 to have drinking water and, you know, get you going and stuff like that. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is a refrigerator. Now, moving into these apartments, you don't have furniture. You don't have nothing in there. You just got a wall. You got walls, and they give you, you know, of course, toiletries and stuff like your toilet and all that stuff like that. But as far as appliances, you don't have that here. So you need a refrigerator when you move in. All right. Now, you can get a good quality refrigerator for about 15 to 2,500 pesos. It's 25,000, 15 to 25,000 pesos. If you want to go in on the high end with decent quality, you're going to pay about $427. All right, if you're going to go on the low end of 15,000, you can pay $280 plus for it. But, you know, we're talking about for comfort, you know, so we're going to go ahead and stick with the 427 in this video right now. And, of course, you can compute for the lower end, should I say. Now, they do have second-hand appliances and stuff like that, but I don't know the quality of them and how well they work. You don't get a warranty with it, so me personally, I wouldn't do that, you know. But for the refrigerator, man, let's go with the grand total of 427, and that's going to carry you for the duration of you being out here in the Philippines for a decent quality refrigerator with a good inverter in it. All right. The next one is a cooking stove. Now, you got many varieties of cooking stoves, man. You can get a cheap gas stove that sits on top of a cooking rack, and you know it looks like they got ones out here that actually look like the ones in the States too. So it just depends on your budget or whatever. If you want a cheap one, you can get a cheap burner, one stove burner for about 600 to 1,000 pesos, about $17 on the high end. All right. If you want a 2-burner stove, you're gonna pay about $30 for one, because it's like 1,700 pesos for a double one. Now, a westernized stove, the one that got the oven on it and all that other good stuff like that, you're gonna pay anywhere from 10 to 40,000 pesos. So on the low end, that'll be about $170. Just depends on what you want. You know what I mean? The next one is air conditioner. On the low end, you can pay about 5,000 to 6,000 pesos. You know, that's about $85 for air conditioner. Me personally, I recommend that you get you some fans, because being out here in the Philippines, it's hot all year long, and if you run your AC all day, your electricity bill is gonna be real high. So get you a whole bunch of fans, you know, maybe 2, maybe even 3 in some rooms, and yeah, fan yourself out. You'll be all right. You feel what I'm saying? Save you some money. All right. So yeah, if you want to get the high-end air conditioner, you're gonna probably pay about maybe 30,000 pesos. So that's about almost $520 something, something like that. Again, just stick with the fans, man, and you'll be all right. All right. Let's go on to the next one. That's the couches. You're gonna need a couch. All right. Now you can get a low-end couch, a cheap one. You can find one, you know, on the side of the roads and stuff like that. They got furniture places, and you know you can get those for maybe about 8,000 pesos or something like that. But they're really not good quality. If you want to get a good quality a good quality couch and stuff like that, you're gonna pay about 15,000 pesos. I want to say 15,000 pesos, so about $250, roughly, give or take. All right, it's about 256, something like that. And you have some comfort, man. The next thing I want to talk about is your beds. You're gonna need some bedding. You're gonna need a place to sleep, man. You can get a metal bed frame for about $5K or like $85, and then the Uratex mattress, decent quality Uratex mattress, for about 3,500 pesos, which is about $60. All right, so keep that in mind, man, when you're out here. So it's about $135 for give or take. It just depends, man. And the brands the brands vary too. So you got the real Uratex, and then you got the lower end Uratex. You got the almost Uratex. Yeah, it got a whole bunch of other stuff that think they Uratex. So you just got to come out here and get a feel for what you like, man. But I'm gonna go with Uratex, all right? And then also the last thing that I want to talk about is your transportation. Being out here in the Philippines, you might be uncomfortable commuting all the time. So what I'm gonna recommend for you is an e-bike. And the reason why I said e-bike because you can eliminate commuting, you eliminate paying for the expenses of commuting and stuff like that, and it's not overcrowded. And then on top of that, you can get out when you want to get out. It's like a little car, and it's an electric car. And the good thing about it is you don't need a driver's license for it, but it can be pretty pricey to get one. So we're gonna say about $1,000. All right, say about $1,000 to get an e-bike. You probably can get some for about $850. Just depends on what you want. Some of them got steering wheels like little cars and stuff like that. They're pretty cool, man. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. All right. Now let's include the plane ticket. That's gonna be about $1,000, give or take, and that will bring your grand total to about $3,846.54 to start up here in the Philippines. If you take out the plane ticket, you're just moving out here, it's $2,846.56 to just start up out here. If you want to own your own stuff and you want to put everything in your apartment for yourself. Again, some people do opt to just get places that are fully furnished, but I really don't know how that works. And I know if you damage something, they're gonna charge you double the price, and they're gonna make you pay this, and you're gonna have to pay that. So keep that in mind before you come out here. All right. That's all that I really got for you guys on this episode. I hope the information that I gave you does help you out. This is not a monthly cost of living thing. I will cover that in the future. But yeah, I hope this helps you out, man. So again, love yourself, man. Prepare before you come out here. And most importantly, man, enjoy your time in the Philippines.